Since the show has started, the Browns have signed a punter. They signed Matt Haack.
Not they were going to send Matt Ariza.
I thought he was going to say that too.
The
point guy.
Why is that guy not getting a chance now?
I don't know, but they signed Matt Haack.
It's too many PR behind
it. They've also signed.
Completely vindicated.
Still going to be PR behind it. OJ was vindicated too.
People are afraid of
still
negative
hear about that.
Public perception, right?
I guess.
You could be vindicated. You could be
Patterson.
all of that. But that negative public perception,
that's bull.
people just don't want to deal with it.
Especially right now, this late
the Browns
in the season.
don't want that.
Don't
want
all that.
All right, so they've signed Riley Patterson.
Riley Patterson, the kicker. Matt Haack. It's Haack.
Where did he come from?
Hawk. He was last on the Jets practice squad. No. I take that back.
I'm not really worried about the punter.
I have no idea where he's from. I'll look it up. It literally happened 2 minutes ago.
The kicker is the guy you need in the clutch situation.
What do you think about Riley Patterson?
So Riley Patterson is the guy who was with he was the Lions kicker for most of the year. He had been doing well, and then I think he had a really terrible game either last week or the week before. I don't know what happened to this guy, and they just cut him after he'd been really good for them. Mike, what was his last game he played for Detroit, Riley Patterson?
I'm pulling up his game log right now because it certainly doesn't make sense when you
look at
it was
the Jaguars, right?
He's on the season. He's 15 for 17 and 35 for 37 from extra points. So it's not like he has a ton of misses.
They don't kick a lot of field goals because they go for it on fourth down, I think, more than any other team, the Lions.
The last game.
Yeah. What's his last game?
What did he played. Guys, I don't have a great answer for you. He was 2 for 2 and 3 for 3 on extra points, and he missed an extra point against Chicago. He was 1 for 2 against Chicago, and they cut him after that.
1 for 2 on extra points?
0-0 field goals, 1 for 2 on extra
points.
Mike,
what is he, 87.3% for the season?
On the season, yeah.
Did he kick it? How many 50-yard field goal attempts does he have?
Listen.
This season, he is 1 for 2 on 50-yarders.
All we need.
So they don't trust him. I think that's it. They don't trust him to kick a 50-yard field goal.
And in his career, Ty, real quick, in his career, just like Dustin Hopkins was 50%, he's 3 for 6 in his career on 50-yard field goals.
Yeah, he hasn't been around that long. He's pretty young, isn't he?
Third year.
We just need him for 2 games.
Well, we don't know what Dustin Hopkins' situation is.
We hope it.
But at least it's a guy who's been kicking in the league this year. Have we gotten any update on Hopkins yet?
No, and Stefanski is not. Players are speaking first before Stefanski. So as soon as Stefanski tells us what happened, I'll chime in.
When is he expected to speak? Is it before 1 or no?
Yeah, today. It's supposed to be 12:30.
Guys, this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a huge
Dustin Hopkins
deal.
has been great.
Oh, it's 1 o'clock. Sorry.
Okay, Dustin Hopkins has been great. If they don't have him for the playoffs, I don't like that.
Oh wow, you got Joe. Oh, it's different now.
So you're okay with Hopkins being out?
I mean, according to him, just
you got Miles.
You could try to outdo it all, Phillip. You know, only difference between Hopkins and Phillips is.
I mean, maybe I could play quarterback.
The only difference between Hopkins and Phillips is what? I mean,
y'all are sick today. You know, y'all need to be checked after
I think I could throw less picks than Phillip.
Anyways, it's a big deal. I mean, so many games came down to a field goal that P.J. Walker definitely put them in position to win. Just gonna throw that out there. So yeah, you hope that Dustin Hopkins could come back. But this guy, he seems like he can get the job done. I mean, his stuff is similar to what Dustin Hopkins was.
Right, but
and you gotta trust that Bubba Ventrone, which boy, you better fix that that kickoff team. I can't believe you gave up that to
But here's what has me concerned. If he's just kicking for the rest of the regular season, fine.
That's what I'm hoping.
But Mike, he's only played in Detroit, correct?
Yep.
No, yeah, so Riley Patterson, he started his career with Detroit, who was drafted, then played Jacksonville.
Outside.
He played warm weather Jacksonville, and he played indoor Detroit.
Act like they don't travel to games.
He went to college at Memphis too, if that makes any difference.
He went to college.
He's never kicked here, has he?
No, he's never kicked in Cleveland.
This is the hardest stadium in the country to kick in.
What year is he? What year is this for him?
His third year.
Can I add on to what you just said?
Yeah, go.
Not only that, the Browns is on primetime national TV this Thursday with an opportunity to clinch, and it's supposed to be cold.
60 degrees
today.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be crappy Thursday.
But Thursday it's gonna be cold and windy. I just don't. It's the unknown. It's the unknown, man. We're going to find out.
Well, you wacko for Joe Flacco. It better not come down to no field goal.
I told Mike, speaking of wacko for Flacco, we are 2 games away from a bunch of us. I said I would get 50 memberships.
Did you say that?
Yeah, Mike said he would get 50 memberships.
Yeah.
I don't think Bull agreed to that.
I'll give memberships too. By the way, it's not supposed to be terrible Thursday night. As of now, overcast, but no rain.
See that?
Low near 40 and not heavy winds. I don't care about the rest of the regular season, but I think we'd all agree in the playoffs,
you need him.
You want Dustin Hopkins.
I need Hopkins.
This guy might be good.
I'm about to say, we don't know.
But we know.
So let me.
But Hopkins, we know.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
He makes every field goal from now to the end of the regular season.
I'll feel more confident.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Well,
Sure.
It's showtime.
No matter what he does, even if he's perfect, I'd still rather have Hopkins based on how Hopkins.
We kicker ties, bro. We are kicker ties.
Well, let me
to
ask y'all
city,
this
man.
question because I don't know the answer. So you know how Dustin Hopkins was like 5 points away from Jim Brown's record? If he kicks him in the postseason, does that still count?
No.
So he don't get it?
No. Oh, I think does anybody care about those records?
If I'm Hopkins, I do.
Yes.
Hey, I could go around telling my kids I broke Jim Brown's record.
I'm about to say.
That's something that
he
ain't
was
nothing
5
to
points away.
Yeah. By the way, it reminds me of an apology I wanted to make because on yesterday's show, somebody brought up the Browns championships pre-Super Bowl. And I was like, who cares? And I often say that because to me, there's a clear line of delineation in all sports of when the comparison of the championships is different. And for the NFL, it's the Super Bowl. The league was different. When the Browns won championships pre-Super Bowl, they were competing against a lot less teams. It was a totally different world. Mm-hmm. But I think when I say that, it can come off a little harsh and dismissive of the players who played in that time and what they accomplished. And I know Otto Graham's family still lives in the area, and I just wanted to make it clear that I don't mean to diminish how great a player Otto Graham was and what he accomplished for the city, and at the time was a great player and won championships and deserves all credit. I just think I can't compare it to the Super Bowl era. That's all I'm saying. It's not. But I came off harsh, and I don't want to diminish what Otto Graham and those teams did. So I just wanted to put that out.
I take them teams the championships.
We could use Otto Graham if Joe Flacco gets hurt.
Facts.
We could have used him.
Facts. Otto Graham is a Swiss Army knife.
He did everything.
He did everything.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Did a little research on Matt Haack, the guy they just signed.
Yeah.
He was the Colts punter last year with Bubba.
Oh, well,
and has been on the Cardinals practice squad.
So
that's
there you go. That makes sense.
That's the tie.
All right. Listen, I'm less worried about the punter. I know Bojorquez has been good, but I don't know. I just feel like there's more pressure being a kicker.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're going to appreciate Corey Bojorquez because he did a really good job of flipping the field. And when you go against teams that's like really good offensively, that matters. To be able to flip the field, pin them inside their 20, their 10, that matters a lot. But when you look at the rest of the schedule, the Jets struggle offensively, and what's our last? Cincinnati. That could be a problem there, but we ain't going to.
I just know bad job out of me. I remember when we first got Dustin Hopkins, and I think we was doing behind the glass, and it was like maybe week 2 or week 3 of him being here, and he didn't hit all these 50-yard field goals. And I was kind of dismissive to what he was doing. I kind of wrote it off like, yeah, he a kicker. Kicker's kick. Kicker's supposed to make kicks. Why are we making a big deal out of it? You never really know what you got until you don't have it no more, right? Well, because as soon as that happened Sunday, I was like, damn, I want my kicker back.
Yeah, and
I need my kicker.
It don't count.
I need my kicker, man.
Nope.
That's messed up.
Miles Garrett got a sack on a 2-point conversion. That didn't even count as a sack.
Yeah, I know about that.
Which is all these weird rules.
I had a pick against the team up north and on a 2-point conversion.
And it didn't count. That's ridiculous because it's special teams technically or whatever. We got Leroy coming at 12, right?
Yeah, I should be here any minute. As soon as he is, we will bring him on. But I did have one more question about the kicking situation real quick. Not as worried, and Tyvis, you might be the best person to ask, but a hamstring injury on the plant leg versus the kick leg, obviously not ideal, but if we find out it's the plant leg and not the kicking leg, do you think that changes the recovery time, or is the plant leg in the situation of a field goal kicker equally as important and equally as finicky and needs just time to heal as the kicking leg would?
No, I think if it's the kicking leg, I think obviously that's a no-go at all. But the plant leg, that's very important. You see a lot of guys really working on their steps, making sure that they're straight and all of that. But I think you could still be able to kick. I think it might on the follow-through maybe. That'd probably be where I think it'll mess him up the most. But I think Dustin Hopkins would be – I don't think he's going to be out that long. I really don't.
The Browns might be in a situation where they have to keep a second kicker on the active roster in the playoffs. because you can't afford if Dustin Hopkins is dealing with a hamstring injury and he tweaks it in a playoff game, you can't afford not to have a guy who can kick. Now maybe this Matt Haack, whatever his name is, maybe he can. Bojorquez couldn't kick for whatever reason. Maybe this Matt Haack is maybe the part of the reason they're considering him is because he can also kick in an emergency.
Wait a minute, let me because it's been a while. So okay, so you know how you got your 53 and you got your practice squad.
Yeah.
When you elevate somebody from the practice squad, right, that means you got to sit somebody on your original 46, 48, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? So that means one less player had to sit, but you could keep this guy on practice squad just to elevate him for the game.
Yeah.
So in theory, you can elevate a kicker for the game.
Right.
And just sit like the 4-string linebacker for the game.
Right, he'd be inactive for the game.
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's probably how
They might have to do that.
That's how I would roll.
If Hopkins is back,
because I ain't signing them to the 53. I ain't that.
Right, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how